ದ ಪ್ರತಿಬಿಂಬ.
My dear viewers, entrepreneurs and taxpayers, are your tax confusions chronic? Do not panic. This is Nammakudla Tax Clinic. Here we will present you our experts, Tax Tonic. I am CA S.S. Nayak. Dear taxpayers, you are all welcome to our sensational 322nd episode of Business Tonic. Pay tax and feel relaxed. This is the topic of the day. To deliberate on this topic, we have three young stars, I say, not youngsters, with us. All are proficient in their domain, practicing chartered accountants with lot of accomplishments in their profession. First of all, let me welcome CA Daniel Marsh Pereira. He is the Vice Chairman of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Mangaluru branch. He has completed BCom from St. Aloysius as a topper. Then he has completed CA and practicing in Mangalore for the last 13 years. Presently he is the partner of prestigious CA firm NBS and Co. Chartered Accountants, having their headquarters in Mumbai and having 16 partners in the firm. And he has completed certificate course in concurrent audit, forensic audit and AI of ICAI, as well as diploma in information systems audit. He has been serving the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India at Mangaluru branch in the committee for the last 5 years, and presently he is the Vice Chairman of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Mangaluru branch. CA Daniel Marsh Pereira, you are welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
We have with us young, energetic, enthusiastic, smart, pleasing and just married CA Royson Anil Sequera. He has 7 years of rich experience as practicing chartered accountant at Mangaluru, co-founder of Pramod Krishna and Company LLP since 2019. He has completed BCom from St. Aloysius Evening College, qualified as CA in the year 2018. BCom, as I have told, St. Aloysius. CA completed in the year 2018. DISA, that is Diploma in Information Systems Audit from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Certificate course in concurrent audit, forensic audit and artificial intelligence from ICAI. So he has multifaceted skill set in the field of accounting, taxation, finance, as well as in academics also. CA Royson Anil Sequera has completed his articleship from CA S.S. Nayak. So you are welcome to our show.
Thank you, sir.
And he has earlier appeared for our 3 events, even Daniel Marsh Pereira also. We have with us 2 decades rich experience as a practicing chartered accountant, out of which 7 years in industry and 13 years as practicing CA in Mangaluru. CA Sunil Anni. CA Sunil Anni is presently practicing as the proprietor of Sunil Anni and Co. at Mangaluru for the last 13 years. He has completed his BCom with the 5th rank from Mangalore University. Then he has completed his CA in the year 2005, and he has rich experience in industry including at Infosys, and he has completed DISA GST certificate course as well as IFRS from ACCA UK. So he is experienced, and his domain area of practicing is bank audits, MIS reporting, due diligence, company law matters, systems implementations, investment advisory as well as project reports and budgeting. CA Sunil Anni, you are also welcome to our show.
Thank you.
As I have already told, today's topic is pay tax and feel relaxed. Why we have kept this title? Because we all know taxpayers have their commitment to build the nation. If at all our nation is prospering with 6.4% GDP, taxpayers' contribution is also vital. There are basically two types of taxes: indirect tax and direct tax. Indirect tax, one or the other way everybody is paying, popularly GST. We have done several programs on GST also. And direct tax, that is basically income tax. Of course, there are some few other taxes, negligible, security transaction tax, equalization levy and all. In this budget 2025, if you see the chart, from income tax, 22% of our total receipts are from personal income tax, and 17% is from corporate taxes. That means our personal taxes are more robust and more than we have overtaken the corporate taxes. Of course, this is a very good sign, but still, when compared to developing and developed countries across the globe, still we are lagging behind. In assessment year 24-25, that is by 31st July 24, 7.28 crore ITRs have been filed. Out of that, 5.27 crore ITRs have been filed under new tax regime, and 69.92 lakh ITRs filed on a single day, that is on 31st July 2024. So we have one habit, that is letters tuka bakka tuka. Last day we are rushing, then we blame our portal not working, that bank transaction is not happening, because everybody will rush at a time. So income tax as is the major revenue, source of revenue for the state, that is central government. IT collection saw a notable increase in 2024, reflecting the strengthening of the income tax base, improved compliance, growing economy, and increase in UPI and digital transactions. Because of that, tax collection is increasing day by day. In financial year 24-25, the gross tax collection rose to 25.86 lakh crore, that is 16.5% growth, and corporate tax 12.90 lakh 12.40 lakh crore out and personal taxation 12.90 lakh crore. As I already told, we have exceeded
Corporate
this
tax.
corporate tax.
Yeah.
Then STT, security transaction tax. There is significant jump. We all know
Yeah.
because there
They
is
already come into the
STT is
market.
increased. That is 53,095 crores and 3,399 crores. That is from other direct taxes, as I have already told. So this is the brief about income tax, and on an average from 93 days that income tax return processing time has been reduced to average, I say, 10 days. That is also
Very good
ease of doing business, we can say. With this small note, let us deliberate on this income tax return and filing. We all know 31st July was scheduled last date for
Individual.
income tax payers, salaried individuals, non-tax audit cases, but it has been now postponed to 15th September. But ITR forms, there are 7 types of forms. Out of that, 1 and 4 have already come. Those taxpayers coming under the purview of ITR 1 and 4, they can file immediately, and others they have to wait and watch until other forms are released by the CBDT. So with this small note, let us continue. If you have any doubt, you can call 0824 411 6060 or 0824 411 9090. Before starting our formal discussion, special events of this week. Today is Father's Day. Father's Day is celebrated across the globe, International Father's Day. This is on 15th June. Why we should celebrate Father's Day? So Father's Day, we can say, for all the love and care, for all the moments shared, for all the joys you brought, for all the things you taught, you have always made me glad. So happy Father's Day, my dear dad. So we have to wish our father. So in Sanskrit it is said, who are considered as fatherly figures, Janakascha upaneta cha yascha vidyam prayachati annadata bhayatrata panchayate pitaraha smrataha. Janakascha, that means one who gives birth. Upaneta, one who initiates. ಉಪನಯನ ಮಾಡುವವರು ಕೂಡ ಅಂತ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. One who imparts knowledge, that is yascha vidyam prayachati. Annadata, one who provides food. Food means not only food, shelter, everything. Bhayatrata, one who protects us from fear. These 5 are considered as father. Sarvebhyah pitradivasasya hardaha shubhashayaha. If mother gives us love and food, father gives us love and money. So father is considered as ATM of the family. So that's why let us wish all fathers happy Father's Day. So father should be the role model in the society also. Why father should be the role model in the society? In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, shloka 21, it is said, Yadyadacharati shreshtaha tatta devetaro janaha sa yat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. Arthat, who should be the role model? In family, normally, father is considered as the role model. That's why Yadyadacharati shreshtaha, the senior person in the family, whatever he does, that others follow. स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनु वर्तते. Whatever father kurute, that means executes what does, children or family members, they follow it. That's why we should be the role models in family, and we should always guide especially children for their better future. So I wish all fathers happy Father's Day. On 18th June, it is a picnic day, International Picnic Day. Picnic means all are very, the name itself says picnic means people always enjoy that name itself. So International Picnic Day is celebrated to encourage people to enjoy a meal outdoors. It is celebrated on 18th June. This year also it is on 18th June 2025. Enjoy in the company of friends, family or community. A day to celebrate simple pleasures of eating outside, reconnecting with the nature and creating beautiful memories. Most recently in 2009, the Guinness Book of World Records, largest picnic in the world, it took place with more than 20,000 people in Lisbon, Portugal. International Picnic Day is celebrated in many countries, a simple opportunity to enjoy the beauty of eating outside. Not only eating outside, you can connect with the nature, may it be riverside, seashore or forest, or may it be with a lot of games, entertainments and fun. So normally weekends people go for picnic, and on some special occasions also they go for picnic. They enjoy in lush green garden, happy sunshine, good music, good company of people and junk food with lot of food which is not eaten every day in home. With this small note, I wish all the viewers happy picnic day. Let me start the topic, pay tax and feel relax. CA Daniel Marsh Pereira. Why one should file income tax return?
So there are several reasons for income tax return to be filed. First of all, if your income is more than the basic exemption limit, then you are mandated to file your income tax returns. There is a concept called of tax deduction at source on incomes where a person giving you this income will deduct tax. In order to claim that tax benefit or to set off against a tax liability, a return is mandatory. There are certain other conditions where if your certain expenditures are there, where it might be a credit card or it might be electricity bill or certain other conditions, if you cross that threshold limit, then you are mandated to file income tax returns. One more reason being, if you have incurred any loss in any kind of transaction that you have done, it might be a business loss or it might be a capital gain loss or house property loss. In all these conditions, return filing is mandatory in order to set off this loss in the future incomes that you earn.
Okay.
So broadly, these are the mandatory conditions because of which you need to file your income tax return.
Okay. If you don't file on time, what is the last date of filing returns? And if you don't file on the time, what are the consequences?
Yeah. Actually, late filing should not be encouraged while filing the income tax return. As we know, due date you have told that 15th September is the due date for this one, and correspondingly for timelines we have 31st October for tax audit we have. If we miss the timeline, there is something known as a belated return we can file. By December 31st we have to file, but the more time we borrow, it will be commanded by late fees as well as interest, which is not good. So the more we wait, now there is also updated return option, just to brief it. but it also comes with the additional liability, 25%, 50%, 60%, 70%.
More you wait,
Yeah.
there will be more weight
There
in
will be
paying taxes.
More paying taxes. So it is advised that let's not wait for the date. So let's file it before the last date.
Okay. Mr. C.A. Sunil, can you just add who have to mandatorily file, and if they don't file, what are the consequences?
So all individuals, if their income is exceeding 2,50,000, they are mandatorily required to file the income tax returns. Apart from the individuals, HUFs, firms, partnership firms, companies, trusts, and BOE, LLP,
AOP,
AOPs,
BOI.
all are required to file their income tax returns.
Trust.
Based on their turnover and other criteria, the due date will be decided. For this, the generally due date will be 31st of July every year, and this year, because of various reasons, it has been extended till 15th of September. And the next due date is 31st of October. That is not known till now. We are assuming that it will stay as it is. So if you don't file the income tax returns within the due date, that is 31st July, it is called original return. The late fee of 1,000 if the income is less than 5 lakh, and 5,000 if the income is more than will be levied. And
That
with
is
this late fee,
up to 31st December.
31st December. With this late fee, you can file till 31st of December. If you still miss the deadline, you can go for the updated return. That
We
will
will
be as
discuss about
Royson,
updated return.
as Royson
Because
said, it
people will go for that. then.
Correct. But it will be with the higher cost.
I would like to add one more point, sir. And filing returns becomes your credibility. If you have to know what a person is earning or his worth, or for visa purposes, for those matters, if you want any financial credibility, the document which proves that you are financially stable is your income tax return, which is an accepted norm.
Yeah,
You-
they may come one, even this before marrying also. After seeing income tax returns, some may marry, like horoscope they are seeing now instead of horoscope, income tax
Civil.
return. So better to file
income.
and civil score.
I think, sir, it's already come. I think I read an article in the newspaper about this, where the condition was his income should be more than the exemption limit. That was one of the conditions.
Nowadays, civil people see.
Just to add here, sir, unless you file the income tax returns, none of the banks give loans these days.
Correct.
So it is
Credit
regular
cards,
credit cards, none of
loans.
them. So it is better to file the income tax returns within the due date regularly, rather than filing it together after 1 or 2 years.
Okay. There are various forms. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, Form 5, Form 6, Form 7. 7 types of forms. Can you just elaborate which form is applicable to whom? Which are all incomes covered? Just.
Like you said, sir, several forms are there based on your constitution. You might be an individual or a partnership firm or a limited company or a trust. So first thing, based on your constitution, the form should be selected. That is one thing. Second one is regarding your incomes that you earn. You might have salary income, house property, capital gains, business, and other sources, like the broad 5 heads. So considering those factors, if you have salary income, house property, and other sources, you can file the ITR 1, that is the Form 1. Then if you are into business, then if you're a partnership firm and LLP, then comes Form 5. For companies, it's Form 6. And for trust, it is Form 7.
7.
So based on, to sum up, based on your incomes that you earn and the constitution that you are in, the form should be adequately selected.
Okay. If you do file in wrong form, what happens? Whether that particular exactly you have to file in that form. Suppose you file in wrong form, any consequences?
Yeah, generally it has to be filed as the prescribed. Just to add with regard to Form 2 and Form 3, Form 2 capital gain income we have, and house property income, more than 2 houses we have, it is suggested to file ITR 2, and business and profession income we have, ITR 3 needs to be updated. Whatever the forms that we discussed from ITR 1 to 7, if we adopt some other form, then there is a possibility that ITR can become defective. So
Then
that is
they will send the notice.
They will send the notice. If the return becomes defective, then within 15 days we have to respond, or else the ITR will continue to become
as good as it is, you have not filed.
not filed. Not
correct, no?
So right ITR form should be adopted.
Okay. So many people now direct filing, online filing has come. Like people go to medical shop if they are ill, instead of going to doctor, shortcut. Go to medical
Over the
shop and take your tablets or medicines.
OTC.
Because filing made easy everything. People they file online directly and they have the pleasure that I have filed my income tax. It's so simple and all. When the notice comes, then only they will realize
Understand.
What
that
mistakes they
something
have done,
is
yes.
wrong.
Correct.
So what are the common mistakes people do in filing the income tax return?
So most common mistake is residential status. We have seen many people doing a wrong selection as resident, even though they are non-resident. The other mistake we generally see is the bank account.
Some NRIs,
NRIs.
when they come back to India,
They do not
so
know the
they
reasons
still
how to
continue
calculate.
their NRI
Correct.
deposits.
Correct. They
And
might. Correct.
ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೆ nobody will come to know.
True.
And because of that interest is taxable now.
Correct.
So they continue to do it.
Continue to it. So whether intentionally or unintentionally. The other common mistake is bank account. Now the validation facility is there, but if the bank account is not validated, refund will not be credited to their account.
Bank account, that is name of the bank.
Name of the bank,
Then,
IFSC
account
code,
number,
account
IFSC
number,
code.
It has to be validated before filing of the income tax returns. Even if they do not respond to the refund failure notice, then they might lose the refund. The other common mistake is not properly selecting the TDS and TCS credit. Most of the people, they do not go to that schedule. If they are filing online by themselves, they do not go to that schedule at all and don't confirm those figures. So still again they will get a notice from the department to pay those amounts. It will be unnecessary hassle if they are doing without studying these schedules properly.
Before continuing for further mistakes, let us attend one caller. Hello.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಹೂ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್?
ಸರ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ KJ5 ಅಂತ.
KJ5 ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರು. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ?
ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್.
ಓಕೆ.
ಅದೇ ಸರ್, ಈಗ ಎರಡು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು, ನಮ್ದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯೂ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಫರಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್.
ಓಕೆ.
ಎರಡನೇದು, ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಪ್ ಟು 7 lakhs ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ 7,05,000 ಆ ತರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನಲ್ ರಿಲೀಫ್ ಅದು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಥವಾ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೇಬಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು.
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. First we will talk about old regime and new regime. Can you just throw light on new regime and old regime?
This new regime and old regime was brought in 2 assessment years back.
2003. Sorry, 2023.
So where an option was given to the taxpayer where he can opt for an old regime where the main concept was, it was like a saving perspective where deductions to your tax income was given based on your investments done. It might be your Mediclaim or it might be your LIC. So if you have more deductions, the old regime was beneficial.
But tax rates are higher.
Tax rates are higher, importantly. But in the new regime, no deductions you would be able to claim, but the tax rates are lower. So if you are a person who is into saving and who thinks that for a rainy day I need to save, that time an old regime would be beneficial for you. But if it's in the new place where your incomes are high but you want to pay less number of less tax, then the new regime would be beneficial.
Okay. Now up to 7 lakhs.
Yes.
12 lakhs has come in last budget. It will be
25-26.
applicable for this financial year 25-26. That means next year.
Correct.
Now we are discussing about filing of the IT return of the last year.
Yes.
That is financial year 24-25. To avoid all this confusion in the new direct income tax code, in that they are going to change only tax year. Okay.
Tax year.
Tax year. Now this for the financial year 24-25, that means presently they have to file. If the income is 7,05,000, he has asked the beautiful question.
Correct.
So whether any marginal relief is available or on entire after 2.5 he has to pay taxes.
No. If the income is more than 7 lakhs, marginal relief is available. Or else just for the increase of 5,000 rupees, you have to pay the entire tax on the new regime. Let's say 3 to 7 lakhs, whatever the 5% you have to pay, 20,000 it will become, and again 5,000, the slab again will change. Just avoid this 5,000 rupees, whatever the additional income is there, only that needs to be paid.
5,000 if he pays, it is
that
enough.
is enough.
up to that
Yeah, correct.
whatever that tax rate
Tax
it
limit.
covers.
In his case, it is 7,05,000.
See, our viewers are also very intelligent. They know all these things.
Marginal
relief, they add
Yeah.
this and correct.
Correct.
No? So anything we want to add for old regime and new regime. See what happens. Who are all can opt new regime and who are all can opt old regime.
Sir,
Suppose once you opt new regime, can you come in reverse gear? Whether all people can come in reverse gear. If they can come in reverse gear, how many times they can take reverse? Can you just elaborate on
So
that?
under the old regime, if you have housing loan and all the deduction under section 80C, 80CCD, 80CCD2, then it will be advisable to go for the old regime, because even if you calculate, the tax will be much lesser in old regime compared to the new regime. In the current financial year, compared to 24-25, when you are saying 24-25, if you file a Form 10 IEA, you can opt in for old regime and file the returns under old regime. And if it is for ITR 1 and 2, ITR 1 and 2, every year you can toggle between new regime and old regime.
That means
If you don't have a
from
business income,
salaried, those
Salaried,
who
yeah.
don't have business income
Business
and all,
income, you can
other
every
income,
year you can change.
every year you can calculate, make computation of taxes under both regime.
Both regime.
Whichever is beneficial, you can
can
select.
select.
But if
But
you-
by default, it comes new regime
regime
only.
only, yeah.
If you want old regime, you have to select
Yes.
Correct.
while filing the return.
Correct.
Correct, no?
Yes.
So that is for this. For business,
Business income,
Ah.
once you opt out, you cannot come again.
but one reverse gear. you
One
can
reverse
come.
gear is possible,
one
then
time.
again
And
you cannot go back.
Yeah.
Second time, no.
Second time
one
you cannot,
mistake
yes.
is
One reverse
permitted.
gear.
But the option has to be exercised before filing of the income tax, the due date of the income tax returns.
Okay.
If you cross that
Once
due date,
you cross
it will
the
be
due
new
date,
regime. Yeah, it will be
all it is by
it will be-
default
it will be new regime.
new regime. You cannot, even people having all these deductions, you are, please note, taxpayers please note, if you are opting for old regime, you have to file the
Before the due date.
returns before the due date.
date, yes.
After the due date, even if you have all these deductions, you cannot,
cannot opt in.
file under old regime.
Correct.
You have to go under new regime. It is to be very careful. Now this Aadhaar and PAN, it is a linking is compulsory. Without that, you cannot file the return. So if you don't link, what are the consequences?
This mechanism is brought by the government in order to map an individual. So that is one main reason why Aadhaar and PAN is mapped. So if you don't map your Aadhaar and link your Aadhaar and PAN, you cannot file your return. But by that does not mean that you cannot do it only. There is an option where you can pay a fine of 1,000 rupees and link your Aadhaar and PAN. But it becomes mandatory in order to file your return of income.
Okay.
Just to add on that, if Aadhaar and PAN is not linked, then PAN can be considered as inoperative, where the higher rate of TDS could be applied wherever the person has to do TDS for us. So 20% based on the income needs to be applied. So irrespective of the normal slabs of the TDS rate, it can become burdensome. Now it looks like majority of the people, everyone has done this Aadhaar and PAN linking. If it is not done, it is advised, or else higher TDS provisions might apply on the person who has not done the TDS.
Okay. Now this 26 years, what is this 26 years? What it reflects? Can you just elaborate on that?
26 years is a consolidated statement of all the taxes deducted and taxes collected from the by various deductors or deductees. He will get
It is like a bank passbook.
bank passbook only.
Credit, whatever.
Even the
Tax
property
passbook.
transaction, even the property transaction centered by him, wherever that he has done the TDS or the TDS has done on him, everything will be reflected. If the TDS credit is not reflected in
It
26
is like
years,
a CCTV.
yes,
of
it
the
is. If
income
it is
tax
not,
department.
if it is not reflected in the 26 years, then he cannot claim the credit of taxes.
Mm.
So it is always better to compare the taxes with the 26 years before filing up the income tax returns.
Okay. What is this AIS? AIS and TIS. So earlier specified financial transactions. What is that SFT? What are all the transactions should be reported?
Yeah, so specified financial transactions is an mandatory form which needs to be filed by certain SSEs. Say for example, banks, they have to mandatory file this SFT form where interest income has been paid, where tax has been deducted. So this is a cross-linking mechanism where the person who is giving that income, by filing this form, they have to see that all that information is come into your, I mean, this SSC's Form 20, I mean, through this SFT, this Form 26AS is also done. I mean, it's a cross-linking mechanism. So in an AIS, it's like the full form of it, that's a nomenclature. AIS is Annual Information System. In this AIS, all your, like how our co-panelist has said, all your information is mapped, your property transactions, your bank interest, or any of the TDS is information is there in that. A tax information system is only the tax related matter. In AIS, high value transactions, all those transactions which need to be reported by certain agencies are all mapped in AIS.
Okay. Now, SFT,
Yeah.
which are all the transactions reporting requirements covered?
Generally, our cash withdrawals, they will be reported by the banks. Let's say our term deposits more than 10 lakhs will be reported. Mutual funds, purchase more than 10 lakhs. Then properties which are purchased more than 30 lakhs. So generally, higher value will be reported.
Deposit in SB account in the aggregate in a year,
Yeah.
10 lakhs or more.
More will
Deposit
be
in current account, 50 lakhs
50 lakhs.
in a year or more. And withdrawal,
Yeah, cash withdrawals.
50 lakhs or more.
Yeah, they will
Then
be.
this one, property transactions
Yeah,
you
more
have
than 30
already
lakhs,
done.
Even the
Then
post
fixed deposit,
Yeah.
Post office
Yeah,
deposit.
10 lakhs. Post
more than
office
10
deposit.
More than 10 lakhs.
Credit
they
card
will be
bills.
reported.
Credit cards.
Credit card more than 10 lakhs. They will be reported.
okay.
So it is like how.
More than 10 lakhs in cash, more lakh 1 lakh in cash, and more like 10 lakh if you have spent,
Yeah, correct.
it will also come. Correct, no?
Yeah, correct.
Bonds or debentures.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are all the transactions will appear.
So
That's
it
why
is, it is like.
you should be aware none of your transactions will be left out.
Correct.
So it is like a CCTV check and balances. Whatever your financial transaction, you please report properly. Otherwise, you will end up in paying penalty.
Correct.
What is misreporting and underreporting? Suppose there is misreporting and underreporting, what are the consequences?
Every person is required to report a true income of true return of his income. So if he is failed to report the correct income, the penalty may be initiated under section 270 and 270A. So this is called misreporting and underreporting. Underreporting, the penalty may be 50% of the tax of the calculated which is on the misreported income, and under misreporting it is 200% of the tax.
200%, please note, if there is misreporting, whatever amount of tax comes, tax plus 200% penalty will
Penalty
come.
is there.
That they should be careful.
Careful. So AIS is an open book where they have to compare everything before filing of the income tax returns. So very important to note that matter.
But sometimes we understand that in AAS also there will be mistakes that are reported. But window is provided by the income tax department either to completely disagree or partially agree or to seek for an update. Because now everyone is telling that AAS, TIS, AAS, TIS. But one thing is that it may not include all the informations, or once the source is referred from multiple sources, there is a possibility of double recording of the same information. But income tax department has provided the window where the SSC should periodically visit, and if the information is wrong, it is very intent that it needs to be reported and informed to the original source. So they will rectify it and it will be done.
We have one caller. Hello.
Hello. Sir,
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Who's speaking?
Yeah, this is Vinod, sir. Vinod from Mysore.
Vinod from Mysore. What are you doing actually?
Sir, I am actually working as software engineer, sir.
Oh, software engineer. You are welcome to our show. Can you ask your question?
Yeah. Yes, sir. My question to Nayak sir and panelists is, sir, this year, is there any tax changes or tax slab changes for the salaried employees? This is first question. The next one is, why always there is a tax, I can say a kind of a more tax change rules or a kind of a more taxes for the middle class or the salaried persons. And also, what is the approach for big people, say industrials or people who who are going away from country where not paying the tax and making huge money? Why such people are not being considered to take out the taxes and other stuffs because they are not at all paying the taxes? and only the middle class people or salary people are being asked to pay the tax. Even though small 5 rupees, 1 rupees has been missed out, a notice is being issued, which happened to many of my friends. So how this could be addressed, or what are the next steps from income tax side to take out these things, sir?
Okay. Your feeling is that middle are meddled, correct, no?
Yes.
So it is not so. Now middle class has given fantastic bonanza in the last budget you might have seen. Can you just elaborate on that? But it is applicable for next year, current year income. Last year we are filing of last year's income now. Okay. Middle class, what is the bonanza you see?
Yes, rightly said by our anchor. Actually, it's a bonanza, as in from what the middle class was paying taxes earlier. For the financial year 25-26, they have significantly increased the tax bracket. So you can say up to 12 lakh rupees. If you equate it by 12 months, up to 1 lakh rupees salary income if you earn, you don't need to pay any tax.
Plus 75,000 standard deduction.
Standard deduction.
12 lakh 75,000.
So, and plus after that up to 24 lakhs you're still within the 30% slab. So middle class, keeping this in mind and considering the inflation that the country is undergoing, they have actually thought about it and given this benefit for middle class. And I feel it's a very welcome move by the government by reducing the tax slabs and not burdening the salaried employees.
Nobody expected that it will be 12 lakhs. Because that from 5 lakhs they increased to 7 lakhs. Everybody was under the impression 8 lakhs or 9 lakhs. Suddenly they have increased to 12 lakhs. Next year you don't ask whether they will make 15 lakhs. Already they have given excellent bonanza. This one thing. Then what are the tax slab changes for salaried this year? They say.
Yeah. So earlier there is always confusion. Now, for example, 2024-25, this financial year to be in specific. So up to 3 lakhs in the new regime, there is a completely basic exemption. It is not necessary for anyone to pay tax. Basic exemption 3 lakh. From 3 lakh to 7 lakh, we have 5%. From 7 lakh to 10 lakhs, we have 10%. Then 10 lakhs to 12 lakhs, we have 15%. 12 lakhs to 15, we have 20%. Above 15 lakhs, we have 30%. That is the current slab that is applicable for the new regime this year. And that to considering the budget as you have told, next year it is very easy to remember also. This time there is lot of numerical remember.
4 into 4.
4. Yeah, 4. So it's very easy to remember for the next year. 4 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 16 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 24 lakhs. And that too, on every 4 lakhs increase, there is 5% increase in the tax
Then
slab.
in addition to that, standard deduction 75.
Standard deduction is also there, margin relief is also there, everything is there. Yeah.
Okay. That means, Mr. Vinod, if you have 12 lakh 75,000, of course you are a software engineer, you have much more. Then even if it is much more, if your income is about 24 lakhs also, minimum you will be saving more than 60,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can buy one car and pay EMI. 5,000 per month EMI you can pay. 7 years repayment car if you buy, or if you have bigger car, you can buy one car for your wife also, and out of that tax savings you can pay your EMI also. That is the beauty. Or you can make one SIP, systematic investment plan.
Correct.
So if you make SIP 5,000 every month, whatever tax saved here, that becomes a big amount.
Yeah.
Correct, no? Okay. Very good question. And he told big people are not paying taxes. It is a myth. Yeah. If such things are there, if it is brought to the notice of the income tax, as we have already told, concealment penalty will be there up to 300% of the income, plus tax plus interest plus 300% of the income. Taxpayer, please note, if anything such income is left out so far, there is a provision for updated return up to 4 years from the end of the assessment year. That window is also there. That we don't call it window. Now doors are opened up to due date. After due date with the late fees, windows are opened. After late fee also, then with the additional taxes, late fee, interest and additional amount, 25%, 50%, 60%, 70% and all, that is ventilators. So you have 3 modes now, whether to go with open doors or windows or ventilators. Okay. So now we have one more caller. We'll attend. Hello.
Hello, I'm B.B. Shanbo, Chartered Accountant.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mm.
I have a query.
Mm.
It is with regard to due date.
Okay.
Whether it's a due date or a last date, it is not. Whether it is relevant, I don't know. And my query is like this.
Mm.
The advance tax due dates are 15th June, 15th September, 15th December, as the case may be, 15th March. Now, this time, June 14th is a public holiday.
Mm.
June 15th is a Sunday.
Mm.
Whether advance tax is the last day is 15th or it is also could have been paid by the clients earlier, but 2 days happens to be the public holiday or the bank holiday. Under the general clauses, if the due date is a holiday, the next working day will be the due date. Whether it applies to advance tax, I don't know whether it is relevant for today's argument. Kindly deliberate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, now because of online mode of payment of taxes, now due date 15th is a due date 15th only. 16th is not the due date unless otherwise notified by CBDT. Now that because lot of 99% of the transaction takes place in online mode only, even if that public holiday is there, online mode they can pay taxes. What is your opinion about it?
There is no extension given even if the last date falls on the public holiday or Sunday. So the system will still calculate the interest if you miss the deadline.
Correct.
And
So
for notification, first we wait X. Is there any update from CBDT? Then we wait for the notification. But it is generally it is
normally filing and all, they say if there is festivities,
Correct.
all other, and because of their
technical
fault,
technical error.
technical error, then
yeah.
they extend. Otherwise, this will remain same.
Correct.
But very good question.
So
Earlier
sir
there
has-
used to be like
Sir has raised a very valid question, but it can be litigated. He is a very expert in that.
Yeah.
It can be, but as he said, under General Clauses Act, we have to litigate it.
Okay.
But
So-
ease is there, electronically paying taxes, everything is done electronically at a
But
few
it
click
is,
of
it
buttons.
is not compulsory, no.
It's not
You can
compulsory.
pay by check also. You
Yes,
can
yes.
pay by cash also. Tax
can.
payment, say 2 lakhs cash receipt, that this and all applicable only for 269. Tax
Tax
payment even
collection.
2 crore you can go and pay to the counter.
Correct.
And actually his question is very
Very
valid.
valid, very valid, yeah,
Very
very
valid,
valid.
but
Very valid.
nowadays they, because of more nature of this online transactions, they are
Encouraged to pay online.
okay.
Correct.
So 16 July also, June also they can pay, but it will not be for the purpose of
Interest will be
calculation of
calculated.
interest, it will be considered.
Yes.
Correct.
Correct, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good question, sir. Thank you very much for watching our show and asking very relevant questions. He is a very senior person in our CA fraternity. We respect him a lot and very knowledgeable person also in our fraternity. Thank you, sir. Now, since our Shanbog sir asked this question, I could remember senior citizens. What are the relaxations for senior citizens filing the return? So, whether they are at par with others or for senior citizens, special provisions are there. Can you just
Yes, yes.
elaborate?
For senior citizen, definitely better provisions are there. Of course, when you are saying a senior citizen, the income earning capacity is reduced. So, considering that in mind, the exemption limit has been increased. Senior citizens also don't have the. It's not mandatory for them to pay advance tax. Also, they are given that.
If they don't have business income,
they are given that relaxation.
advance tax, even if they don't pay, there is no interest.
Interest. It's not mandated that they have to pay advance tax. So these are the relaxations given to senior citizens.
Just to add 2 more benefits, the TDS provisions have been updated to increase that limit to 1 lakh. So up to 1 lakh, there are no TDS made on the senior citizen deposits. And there is one more provision, 194P, where if they have pension from a bank and all the deposits and interest are received from the same bank and they don't have any other income, they can file a declaration and specified form to the bank, and bank will deduct the required TDS and they will file the returns on their behalf. So there is no further requirement to file the income tax returns
That
on
is
their behalf.
provided they should not have any other
Any other
income,
income,
that
business
pension
income,
They
Yeah.
don't
or interest from other bank account.
Practically it may not be
And
there.
above 80 years, up to 5 lakhs, there is no tax. Even manual return also can be possible to file.
One more benefit, SCSS, Senior Citizens Savings Scheme.
Up to 30 lakhs.
Up to 30 lakhs they can deposit.
8.2%
Yes.
interest is there.
Which is eligible for ATC also.
Okay. Then TDS, as you already told, 80 TTA, 80 TTB.
TTB is there.
That is for old regime.
Old regime.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
Most of the benefits are for old regime only.
Yeah, most of the benefits are for old regime. And just to add on to it, even the health insurance premium, they have 50,000 that can be claimed. For others, it is 75,000. But yeah, old is made good for senior citizen actually.
Okay. We have one more caller. Can we attend? Hello.
ಹಲೋ ರಾಮರಾವ್
ರಾಮರಾವ್ರಿ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
To my knowledge, in America and Australia, government takes care of 100% medical expenses for senior citizens. That is not only for hospitalization charges, even afterwards they will send medicines to their house. If that facility is extended to senior citizens in India, then only we can feel relaxed. Next, according to the Times of India of 13th May, Tax Department notified all 7 IT forms for annual year 2025-26. Kindly explain. Next, according to Times of India of 1st May, government simplifies ITR filing rules for small tax payers and investors. Whenever rules are changed, how government gets feedback to know that their changed rules are correctly understood by taxpayers? Sir, don't you think that government should give more publicity through TV and Akashavani? In that connection, I appreciate Nammakudla and Sri S.S. Nayak and all resources sponsors of Nammakudla. Next, what is the role of tax department, chartered accountants, various clubs in motivating people to pay tax honestly? Next, till now, how many honest taxpayers were honored in Dakshina Kannada and Mangalore district? Next, when a company or individual pay tax well in advance, tax department can pay SB interest from the date of payment till 15th September for the advance tax amount paid. Next, many politicians, few cricket players and film actors are not paying tax. What is the punishment for not paying tax? Media should highlight those tax offenders. Next, each Indian should feel that he is paying tax to his mother, to his or other or motherland. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Our Ramrao is always asking relevant questions in every episode. So, first question, US and Australia medical expenses are covered, that is freely covered by the government. Why it is not here? Now I think Ramrao should know 70 years and above all are 100%. You can elaborate. Ayushman Bharat.
It is there. As in, see, that social security concept is there in abroad, in foreign countries. But there is something similar even in India.
Payment also like that. All are paying taxes.
All they paying taxes.
Here, if all the people pay the taxes, it can be done.
Yeah, it is there. I mean, they need to pay a fee, which is not significant considering the hospitalization or other medical costs in the foreign countries. And foreign countries' medical costs are exponentially expensive, very high as compared to India.
Everybody is insured.
Everybody, I mean, if you don't have an insurance, you cannot get medical treatment over there. So considering that, but there are matching benefits even in our country, where like you just mentioned this
Ayushman Bharat, 70 years and above, all are covered now under Ayushman Bharat and free.
Free, yes, it is free. And even there are certain private hospitals also. It's not necessary you have to go to government hospitals. Private hospitals also have this facility. Of course, you cannot expect better service. But yes, medical treatment at the best service will be given, provided to you.
Okay. Then income tax department CA, how they can motivate their selling?
Yes.
There is a lot of this program, no?
Outreach program.
Outreach program by the income tax
department. Yes, since I'm in the committee, I can speak because they reach out to us. and ask us to conduct this outreach program for the benefit of the general public. So before doing this outreach program, an extensive marketing or news media, print media or digital media, they send out this invitations where general public can come, and there are chartered accountants or even from the department learned officials come, and they give in-depth explanation regarding their programs.
Okay. Then this regarding publicity by the government, I think advance tax, return filing, it comes in radio, TV,
correct.
newspaper,
Messages
on the
constant, constant messages.
So there are a lot of information given to the people. Even for the advance tax, they are getting the alerts now.
Now
by the
TDS credits
department.
also.
TDS credits.
also
Every
we are
quarter
getting
we are getting.
even
the information.
notices if they send also, there will be
The
SMS.
message will
correct.
come out.
Procedures are there.
Yes.
I mean, it takes time, but measures are taken.
If we change the phone number and all, difficult.
Yeah, measures are taken, but to streamline, things take time.
So then the non-taxpayers, what is the punishment he is asking?
Non-taxpayers, there are two types in the sense either they have filed the returns or not filed the returns.
Yeah.
If they have filed
Non-taxpayers means they have not filed. That is
Evading the tax.
evade tax.
Evading the
by
tax.
not filing. So by not filing,
Not
there is
paying, not filing.
not filing. There is if you don't file the returns and if you still have the income, the maximum will be 276.60 punishment. The prosecution will be there. It will range from 6 months to 7 years. That is the
It is
maximum
above
punishment.
how much income?
About 25,000 rupees.
25,000.
25,000 rupees.
Punishment.
Punishment.
So we have seen,
Jailali
we have not seen such cases of the prosecution because that is the maximum
Then
punishment.
they will end up in compounding.
Compounding, yes.
Just
So
to add
Then
on,
just to add on, now since the monetary transactions are taken place, now up to 50 lakhs of evasion we have 3 years time period. Above 50 lakhs evasion we have 10 years of time period. So now with this combination of AS and TAS, since now let's say whenever there have SFTs that we discussed, whenever those transactions are taken care by the department, and since they observe that the income tax return is not filed by SSC, then they can start giving notices to the client to declare the source of income, or corresponding measures can be taken. So it is not that everyone who is doing the high value transactions and not filing the returns is left as he is. The notices will be sent by the department.
that's what, sir, as in just wanted to add on saying that our system has become robust now as against earlier, because we have moved from manual to digital. So there is a digital footprint everywhere. So there is a very, very minute chance that you do something, you earn income, and it is gone unnoticed, and you don't get a call from the department or at least a notice saying that you need to discharge tax. So that question I would like to answer saying that it is a very remote case. It's not possible that you earn income and not pay tax. Very difficult today. And with UPIs
Because
today,
lot of checks and
balances
balances are
are
there
there.
now.
Done.
Remote chances, but still it is there.
Yeah, it is.
So
But yeah,
they
so
will
is
be
it.
tasted after some time.
Correct.
Nothing will happen, they will think, but when it will happen,
Yeah.
it will
it's
add a lot of interest, penalty, prosecution, all these things will be in place.
It is just like
So
your borrowed loan from
that's
the-
why we always say all the taxpayers, pay tax and be fine, otherwise pay fine.
Yeah.
So this year, for filing of income tax return, all SSCs have been given, especially 31st July, those who are required to file. They have been given long break.
Correct.
But let us give a short break
Break.
to our show now. Viewers, let us have a short break. Don't go anywhere. Let us meet after the break. Break के बाद.
कहानी कहानी तेरे नीनो चिन्नद गड़िया हम ಬೆಳಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಲೆಯೋ ಬರೆದೆ ನೀನು ನಿನ್ನದ ಕಥೆಯ
Celebrating the brides of now. Kahani Bridal Stories by Bhima.
ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಕೊಡಿ.
ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸನ್ ಪ್ಯೂರೇ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಸನ್ ಪ್ಯೂರೇ.
ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ರಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಸನ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸನ್ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. It's a new
beautiful new experience of life. Rohan Estate, Mukka, a brilliantly conceived residential development with amazing resort-like facilities, boating, kayaking, skating, badminton, outdoor gym and much more. Rohan Estate, Mukka. It's where your dreams take wings.
The Mangala Group of Educational Institutions has been bridging the gap between education and healthcare in Mangalore. Colleges under the group have nurtured the career dreams of several students. Our students have been placed in the defense sector in India as well as in renowned hospitals worldwide. Adequate amenities are provided to the students like transport, canteens and hostels, a well-stocked library, state-of-the-art laboratories, regular skill development courses, e-library system, a vast ground with focus on co-curricular and extracurricular activities are few among the support we offer. The Mangala Group of Educational Institutions offers quality courses in nursing, paramedical sciences, allied health sciences, physiotherapy, and speech and hearing. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single bus ride to college. Explore and experience the exceptional quality of education at Mangala Group of Educational Institutions.
ಈ ಕರುನಾಡು ರುಚಿಗಳ ಬೀಡು ಮೈಸೂರ್ ಮಸಾಲೆ ದೋಸೆ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಘೀ ರೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಆಸೆ ಹುಬ್ಳಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಹೋಳಿಗೆ ಊಟ ಮಂಡ್ಯದ ಮುದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡಿತು ಮಾಟ ರುಚಿಗಳು ಹಲವು ಆದರೆ ತುಪ್ಪ ಒಂದೇ GRB ತುಪ್ಪ ಮರಳು ಮರಳಾದ GRB ತುಪ್ಪ.
Nitte University, ranked 66 in NIRF 2024 and accredited with A+ grade by NAC, invites applications for BTech programs at NMAM Institute of Technology, Nitte, and Nitte Meenakshi Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. Nitte sets the benchmark for excellence. Avail the benefits of 100% tuition fee waiver scholarships earmarked for meritorious students and top performers in sports. Secure your spot through NewCat. Apply now.
ಜವಳಿ ಉದ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆದ ಹಲವು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ಮಳಿಗೆ ಪಾವನಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಕ್ 10 ವರ್ಷದ ಸಂಭ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಹೊಸ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ. ಪಾವನಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ಸ್ ಮದುವೆ ಸೀರೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ಮಳಿಗೆ. ಪಾವನಿ ಜವಳಿ ಮಳಿಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಚಂಪಳ್ಳಿ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಸಾರೀಸ್, ಇಳಕಲ್ ಸಾರೀಸ್, ಕಾಟನ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಕೊಯಂಬತ್ತೂರು ಕಾಟನ್, ಧರ್ಮಾವರಂ, ಕಾಂಚೀಪುರಂ, ಮೈಸೂರು ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಬನಾರಸ್ ಸಾರೀಸ್ಗಳು ಆಕರ್ಷಕ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಲಭ್ಯ. ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಲೌಸ್ಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಮದೇ ಆಯ್ಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಸ್, ಲೇಡೀಸ್, ಕಿಡ್ಸ್ ರೆಡಿಮೇಡ್, ಇನ್ನರ್ ಗಾರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಸಲ್ವಾರ್ ಸೂಟ್ಸ್, ಶೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಶರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಯುವತಿಯರ ಮನಮೆಚ್ಚುವ ಗಾಗ್ರಾ ಚೋಲಿ, ಲೆಹೆಂಗಾ, ವಿವಿಧ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸದ ಚೂಡಿದಾರ್ ಕುರ್ತೀಸ್, ಲೆಗಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಜಗಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅತಿ ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿ ದರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಮದುವೆಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಜವಳಿಪೇಟ, ಧೋತಿ, ಶೆರ್ವಾನಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ವೇರ್ಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಭೇಟಿ ನೀಡಿ. ಪಾವನಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್, ಶ್ರೀ ವಿಲಾಸ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್, ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಕಾಮತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಪನಿ, ನಿಯರ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಲರ್, ಗಣಪತಿ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ರೋಡ್, ಹಂಪನ್ಕಟ್ಟ, ಮಂಗಳೂರು. 0824440310. ನಮ್ಮ ನೂತನ ಶೋರೂಮ್ ಪಾವನಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ಸ್, ಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್, ಭವಂತಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್, ರೂಪವಾಣಿ ಟಾಕೀಸಿನ ಹತ್ತಿರ, ಮಂಗಳೂರು. ದೂರವಾಣಿ 08242221
ಅದ್ಭುತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಬರೀ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸನ್ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಆಯಿಲ್. ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್. ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿರಿ.
84ರಿಂದ 50 kg ಬಂದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೂ ಸಣ್ಣಗೆ ಫಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಜೀನಿ ಸ್ಲಿಮ್. ಸಣ್ಣ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಜೀನಿ ಸ್ಲಿಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ಹೆಲ್ದಿನೂ ಅದೇ. ನೀವು ಸಣ್ಣ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಹೆಲ್ದಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಜೀನಿ ಸ್ಲಿಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಹೇ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಸೈಡ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಖಂಡಿತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಫ್ರೀ. ಸಣ್ಣ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಜೀನಿ ಸ್ಲಿಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋ ನಂಬರ್ಗೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಆತ್ಮಶಕ್ತಿ ವಿವಿಧೋದ್ದೇಶ ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಸಂಘ ಬಡಿಲ್ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡ ಹಾಗೂ ಉಡುಪಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 33 ಶಾಖೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದು ನಿರಂತರ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಹಾಗೂ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವ ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಸಂಘವು ಕಳೆದ 1 ದಶಕಗಳಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೇವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಠೇವಣಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಕರ್ಷಕ ಬಡ್ಡಿದರಗಳು, ವಿವಿಧ ಸಾಲ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳು, ಚಿನ್ನಾಭರಣ ಸಾಲ, ಗೃಹೋಪಯೋಗಿ ಸಾಲ, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಸಾಲ, ವಾಹನ ಸಾಲ, ಮರ ದುರಸ್ತಿ, ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಕಟ್ಟಡಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಲ, ಗೃಹ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಸಾಲ, ಈ ಸ್ಟಾಂಪ್ ಸೇವೆಗಳು ಆಯ್ದ ರಜಾದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಲಭ್ಯ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೇವೆಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಡಿಡಿ, ಆರ್ಟಿಜಿಎಸ್, ನೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮನಿ, ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ LIC ಹಾಗೂ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಉಜ್ವಲ ಭವಿಷ್ಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಆತ್ಮಶಕ್ತಿ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಸುರಕ್ಷಾ ಯೋಜನೆ ಸಹಿತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯ ವಿಮಾ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಲಭ್ಯ. ವಾರ್ಷಿಕ 2,000 ಕೋಟಿಗೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವಹಿವಾಟು ನಡೆಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಸಂಘದ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಕಚೇರಿ ಆತ್ಮಶಕ್ತಿ ಸೌಧ, ಬೈರಾಡಿಕೆರೆ ಹತ್ತಿರ, ಪಡಿಲ್, ಮಂಗಳೂರು.
Our mission is to deliver quality health care to every needy person in this region.
ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಮಳಿಗೆ, ಕರಾವಳಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಜನತೆಯ ಪ್ರಶಂಸೆ ಗಳಿಸಿದ ಮದುವೆ ಸೀರೆಗಳ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ಮಳಿಗೆ ಅಂಚನ್ ಗಾರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ರವರ ನೂತನ ಮಳಿಗೆ ಅಂಚನ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಬಹುಮಹಡಿಯ ವಿಶಾಲ ಕೊಠಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಆಯ್ಕೆಗೆ ಇದೀಗ ತೆರೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಬಂಟ್ವಾಳ ಬೈಪಾಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣಗೊಂಡ ಅಂಚನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಆಯ್ಕೆಗೆ ಸುವರ್ಣಾವಕಾಶ. ಕಾಂಜೀವರಂ, ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಆರ್ಟ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿ ಸಾರಿ, ಕಾಟನ್ ಸಾರಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಲೌಸ್ಗಳು. ಮದುವೆ ಸಂಭ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ, ಪುರುಷರಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುವ ಸೂಟಿಂಗ್, ಶರ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಶರ್ವಾಣಿ, ಬಾಬಾ ಸೂಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ನವನವೀನ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸದ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ರೆಡಿಮೇಡ್ಸ್, ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಾಂಪ್ರದಾಯಿಕ ಉಡುಪುಗಳ ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ವಿವಿಧ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸದ ಫುಟ್ವೇರ್ಗಳು, ಫ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿ, ಟಾಯ್ಸ್, ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ಐಟಂಗಳು ಒಂದೇ ಸೂರಿನಡಿ. ಇಂದೇ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಗ್ರಾಹಕರಿಗಾಗಿ ಅತಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ದರದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಭ್ಯ. ಅಂಚನ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಬೈಪಾಸ್, ಬಂಟ್ವಾಳ, ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ. ದೂರವಾಣಿ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 8941444840 ಅಥವಾ 9448984097.
ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟಾನಿಕ್ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ವಿರಾಮದ ನಂತರ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟಾನಿಕ್ ಶೋ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್. ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್: ಪೇ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಲ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ 3 experts, young stars, resourceful resource persons with us. CA Daniel Marsh Pereira, Vice Chairman, ICAI, Mangaluru. CA Royson Anil Sikwera, Partner, Pramod Krishna and Co. LLP, Mangaluru. CA Sunil Anni, Proprietor Sunil Anni and Co., Chartered Accountants, Mangaluru. You are all welcome to the show after the break. Viewers, if you have any doubt, you can ask, you can call. The call number is 0824 411 6060 or 0824 411 9090. You can call Any doubts will be answered here, and no consultancy charges, no billing will be made. Free consultancy in this our Business Tonic show. Okay. Suppose while filing the return, there is mistake. Can you separate that mistake while filing the revised return? If so, what is the procedure? Can you just say?
If you have done a mistake in the original return you have filed, you can revise your return by correcting all the mistakes before 31st of December.
After 31st December, there is no provision
There is no provision to
file the revised return.
But you can file the updated return by increased payment of tax or 25% or 50%, whatever, as the case applicable. So
what is this updated return? Can you update about updated return?
Yeah, in the previous discussion prior to the break, we told that updated return is a ventilator. Correct? No, it is not a door. But updated return has provided
ventilator.
Yeah. So updated return, it has provided one opportunity to the SSE if he has not earlier declared his income. Now it is providing the opportunity to declare it. And previously,
if he has already filed the return,
so we can declare one time. We can file the updated return. Unlike now, in the updated return, it provides also advantage to the government to collect more tax from the person. Now, earlier, prior to 25 budget, updated return was open for only 2 years. So now for 25, I think 22 is the, still we can file 22. I mean we could have filed by 31st March 2025. Now from 23 we can file updated return now. But everything, it comes with the additional penalty. Penalty of 25% on interest or tax payable, whatever the amount it is there. For the first year of default, second year of default it is followed by 50%, third year of default 60%, fourth year 50%, fourth year default is
tax plus interest
upon that. Now this
tax and interest on that additional.
This window is provided now 25 budget onwards. This option is there, but in nowhere with the updated return, SSE can reduce his income. Always either if by mistakenly if he has claimed any credit, he can tell that sorry boss, I have claimed it wrong, or let's say additional depreciation if he has claimed, he can reduce it, or carry forward of losses if there is a mistake, he can reduce it or avoid it. So in all the ways, SSE have to declare more income in the updated return. There is no scheme that is made beneficial in the updated return to reduce the tax.
What are the other conditions in updated return?
So prima facie updated return and revised return, the only difference is for revised return, original return has to be filed, then only you can revise. In updated return, original return need not be filed. And if you feel that there are certain incomes which you need to offer, you can file an updated return. It is like we discussed earlier, it is an option given instead of being later caught and saying that there is misreporting or underreporting and paying 200-300%. It is a benefit given to the SSCs where to correct your mistakes or to come out clean. This is what the government, the intention of giving an updated return.
More and more late you come out clean, more and more amount will be taxed.
No, the logic is the government would have got tax 4 years earlier. So basically that is the interest component which the government is charging you by in the form of additional taxes. So end of the day, I think it's a welcome move where certain things which are not done, you can always do it.
This is also one of the measures in ease of doing business.
Yes. You can
in addition to that, you cannot claim the refund in updated return. You cannot carry forward all the losses. In a way, it's actually a very good window as a ventilator, as you said, because after 3 years, in case the notice is issued, he cannot do a updated return. So before that, he has a window.
In such case, tax, interest,
penalty,
200% penalty, all these things.
Everything will be penalty.
So better if anybody has left out last 4 years, there is a provision to file the updated return. Now, it is a welcome move.
Yes,
correct.
Okay, that is excellent. In spite of doing all these precautions, income tax notices will come. Generally, why income tax department will issue notice? Can just elaborate?
So like I said, so there are certain parameters based on which, so these are notices, initially when they come, they're all algorithmic based from my understanding. There are certain transactions like we mentioned, say cash deposit exceeding a limit, or cash withdrawals exceeding a limit, or say credit card spend. So there are certain parameters. If at all,
then sometimes some message will some caution, high value transactions happened in a day, sent generally to all, and everybody will ask what happened.
What happened?
So based on this, suppose it's like an algorithm. So if there's a checkbox, if a return is filed, like tick, then the notice will not come. But if it is not filed, automatically a notice would, you will be this thing given a notice to give an explanation first to understand for why you have not filed your returns. So even in spite of not having income, it may not be taxable income, but it's always it's better to be safe by filing your return.
Okay. If you don't notice the notice, what happens?
Yeah. If we do not
notice the notice,
then obviously
because everything comes in mail.
Yeah, correct.
If the people don't notice, what is the consequence?
If they
because
do not
now nobody will. ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಸೈನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೋಟಿಸ್, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ನೋ ನೋಟಿಸ್. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ nowadays.
Digital India.
In the notice, generally, SS will be asked to give the sufficient information, or he is asked to give the
It is by mail.
justification.
That registered mailed in the
correct.
Portal.
So he is asked to give the sufficient information or documentation based on what kind of notice it is. But additionally, if let's assume that if the person has not replied to the notice, additional timeline might be given. But let's say if he is not responding, then the order might be given. Order, correct. Self-assessment, best judgment basis, order will be issued, or ex parte order could be issued on corresponding communication, the notice. So it is better to stay updated and log in and see if there is any compliances are pending, or if there is any note issued in the e-proceedings portal.
Better to be update. You have to see the mail now and then. And income tax, your this also at least
portal login and see e-proceedings if there are any compliances are pending. Yes.
Okay. That should be the routine now.
Yeah.
Most common notices we see is 143(1)(a), where there is a mismatch between the AS and return filed details and the defective notice. If people generally, if they miss these notices, defective notice, as we said, the return will become invalid, and if there is a time, they have to file it again within the time, that is before 31st December. And if it is a 143(1)(a), if they don't respond for the mismatch, the amount will be added to the income and the demand will be raised. Then it will be again, we have to go for the appeal or file for rectification. So other measure has to be adopted.
So better to ಮುಳ್ಳನ್ನು ಮುಳ್ಳಿನಿಂದ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ.
Notice should not be left unresponded. So all notices should be responded.
Okay. Now NRIs, whether there is any special provisions for non-resident Indians?
So all non-residents, for them, if they have income in India, there's all the provisions of the act will applicable as it is applicable to the residents. So if they have income more than 2,50,000, they have to file the income tax.
Section 9 says.
All the income accrued and received in India, they have to.
In case of resident, world income is taxable. In case of non-resident, Indian income is taxable. In case of not ordinary resident, Indian income is anyhow taxable. Income outside India is taxable, provided business is set up from India or profession is controlled from India. Correct, no?
So the special provisions are, they don't have any basic exemption for long-term capital gains, even for the shares and securities, what they are
doing. Special rate. Because capital gains are at special rate.
They don't have indexation.
For residents, if they don't have below taxable limit, this amount comes, then need not have to pay tax. But non-resident, this is not applicable.
Even for the immobile property after the budget, 2024, 23rd July, after 23rd July, before 23rd July transactions, residents have an option to index and pay the tax whichever is lower. But non-resident, they don't have an option to do the indexation. They have to pay the tax on the non-indexed computed income. Other than this, even for the property transactions, if the seller is a non-resident, the tax is applicable at 12.5%. TDS rate is 12.5%. Generally, people have the notion that even for the transaction, if it is exceeding 50 lakhs, they have to do a TDS of 1%. But in the case of non-resident, there is no threshold limit. It is from the 1 rupee amount, whatever the transaction.
Earlier it was 20%.
20%. Now it is 12.5%. Plus surcharge or.
If they want to reduce, then Form 13 they have.
Form 13 they have to request with the assessing officer.
Also, the person
And-
deducting tax should get himself a TAN, or
TAN,
else he
yeah.
cannot do it on
He
PAN
cannot do
based.
it.
Correct.
And
It
returns has to be
like
filed quarterly.
TDS return, quarterly.
TDS returns.
For
One more thing is-
non-resident, only one section for TDS.
195. 195.
Yeah, 195. For others, there are different
sections.
For non-resident, only one section.
One section is applicable.
Okay.
One more thing to add, sir. That rebate is not available for the NRAs. All the other matters.
87
87A
rebate.
Rebate is
That
not
is
done.
up to 7 lakhs this year, next
Yeah.
year up to 12 lakhs.
12 lakhs.
So when general advertisement is made that up to 12 lakhs, no tax, up to 12 lakhs, I feel that like the NRIs are left out. They must be made aware that this rebate is not available.
Above 4 lakhs next year, they have to pay tax.
Correct.
And here, this year, about 2.5 lakhs.
5
If
lakhs.
senior citizen, up to above 3 lakhs.
Correct.
Even the dividends earned in India, that is taxable at 20% as special rate. So again, that is not applicable. The normal slab rate is not applicable for the dividends.
Then it is cheap now for them. NRIs, if their dividend is more than the
But if it is less
30%
than,
bracket.
But the concept of deemed resident also kicks in here. Deemed resident kicks in, where if your income is more than 15 lakh, you're deemed to be a resident in India.
Provided you are not taxed in other countries.
And but the days limit will be 120 days limit. That will be implemented in that case.
Instead of 180 days, 120 days.
And in last 4 years, minimum 365 days should be.
So
there.
once you're a deemed resident, then provisions of resident Indian only has to be complied with.
But it is more better for the people, those who are non-resident, then they are coming, they are leaving everything and they are coming.
Okay.
For them it is
Now,
better.
certain categories of SSCs, they need not have to get their accounts audited. That is presumptive taxation. Can you just throw light on presumptive taxation?
Yeah, this is in continuation of ease of doing business, where the government has, it was there earlier, but now when they feel necessary, they make some amendments. So earlier it was up to 2 crore of income, there is no, this thing, what is that, you can opt for presumptive taxation, audit need not be conducted. And so you have to declare income at 8% if it's business. And if at all there is digital transaction, 6% of the turnover you have to declare.
That is
as,
up to 1 crore.
1 crore. But
2
this,
crore provided that cash receipt should not be more than 5% of the total.
That limit
receipt.
is increased to
3 crore.
3 crore this
But
year.
up to last year it is.
Now it is 3 crores.
3 crore.
And up to 5 crore.
Up to 10 crores.
Up to 10 crore.
No
10
tax rate
crore,
provided,
5%
receipts and payments.
Receipts and payments.
Yeah, tax rate is not applicable, but presumptive we cannot opt. Presumptive, I think maximum limit is 3 CR itself in order to declare under 44 AD. And later on we have section 44 ADA, which is applicable for professionals who get their degree, let's say interior decorators, engineers,
specified
lawyers,
professions as well.
specified professions. are there.
But for filing of the return in business, if the turnover is more than 60 lakhs, they have to compulsorily file the return, even if the income is below the taxable.
Exactly.
That comes under the special provision of 138A, where other provisions like cash deposits, foreign travel, and other clauses are included. So this is one of the conditions where if the turnover is more than 6 lakhs, they have to compulsorily file their income tax returns.
So 44, the ADA, that professionals, doctors,
Correct.
engineers, lawyers,
Yeah.
chartered accountants,
Correct.
architects,
Interior decorator.
and interior
Artists,
decorators,
even the artists.
artists, all these people.
Yeah.
44 ADA.
DA.
Can you brief about what is
Yes.
44 ADA?
44 ADA, as you specified, the specified professionals, they can file the return. But the maximum amount here is 50 lakhs provided the cash transaction is more than 5%. If it is less than 5%, then this limit is enhanced to 75 lakhs, where they can declare up to minimum of.
And this 50% or this 8%, 6% or more.
Yeah, or more.
It is not, if the income is more, they have to declare more.
It's minimum
That is
recommended.
minimum. So minimum 50% they can declare. Upon that they can pay the taxes. That is with regard to 44 ADA.
While filing the IT return, other than income, assets and liabilities are also to be filed. What are all the cases it is compulsory?
The income is more than 1 crore. Now it is updated. Earlier it was 50 lakhs. Compulsorily assets and liabilities has to be declared in the income tax returns. So it doesn't come under ITR 1, it will fall under ITR 2 or ITR 3, where they have to declare
Because less than 50 lakhs only will come under
ITR 1.
ITR 1 and ITR 4.
And I think, if I'm not wrong, irrespective of the limit, foreign assets have to be declared by the residents.
Foreign bank account.
Foreign bank accounts.
Foreign property.
Shares.
They own.
If you're holding
any foreign assets,
also,
especially virtual digital assets. Now, whatever people are holding through Binance and all those platforms, they're all forex assets that needs to be declared.
Actually, this is a very dangerous provision. If you don't declare the foreign assets,
10 lakhs,
foreign assets,
10 lakhs per transaction is the penalty.
Proceeding may be under the Black Money Act.
Yeah, correct.
Sometimes this husband, when he is in abroad, he will send money to the wife. Wife will deposit in fixed deposit with the bank. If she earns interest, what are the provisions? Clubbing provisions are there. What are the clubbing provisions? Can just Section 64, income of spouse, income of minor children.
Yeah. So clubbing provision, where income minor children, it should be clubbed with the income of the parent who's got the higher income. That is the basic rule. But like you said, okay, if at all you don't have income earning source, if the source cannot be established, then also clubbing provisions will apply. So in your example, yes, clubbing provisions will apply.
But clubbing provision will not apply if the minor has independent.
Manually, if he has, with the skill set, if he has executed and if he has earned, then clubbing provision is not applicable. Or else clubbing provision is applicable. Just to speak on the clubbing provision, if the asset is not transferred, just if the income is transferred, then all such cases, whoever the first source of the asset is there, under him the income will be clubbed.
Now, what are the new rules for filing of the return this year, especially when there is a payment of rent? It is there. HRA, if they claim. What are the new provisions now this year?
If there is a new regime, they cannot claim the any of these deductions like HRA or conveyance allowance, except in the case of handicap where 3,200, that exemption is still continuing. So other than that, in the new regime of taxes, only employer contribution to NPS is allowed. So none of the deductions are allowed at the time of computation of income.
Now, in this budget that will be applicable for next year, what are the rationalization of TDS and TCS? Can you just brief?
I didn't get a question.
Rationalization of TDS and TCS, that is certain TDS, TCS, that limit has been enhanced, some are exempted, all those.
Yes. Now again, like you just mentioned the earlier question for house property. Earlier TDS had to be done where the house rent paid was up to 2,40,000. That has become 6
house
lakh.
Rent or any rent?
House rent, yeah. It has become 6 lakh rupees. So basically they have increased the limits for major of the
50,000 per month now.
Per month, yeah. So 6 lakh rupees per year, 50,000 per month. So that rationalization has happened.
Any other
Then to add on it, professionals earlier 30,000 was the limit. That has been enhanced to 50,000 from this year. Commission generally it was 5% and 15,000 was the limit. All those limits have been reduced to 2%. Dividend earlier more than 5,000, 10% was the TDS that was done from let's say mutual funds and all those things. This limit has been increased.
TDS on interest 50,000 to 1 lakh.
50,000 1 lakh is been increased. And one more thing is that earlier individual, if you was paying rent more than 50,000, then I think 5% was the TDS. That has been reduced to 2%. So contractors, they have been left as is. So these are some of the upgradation where for e-commerce basically under 194 for the participants on the e-commerce more than 5 lakhs there was the TDS at 1%. Now it has been reduced to 0.1%. So TDS earlier it was TDS, but now the ease is being put with regard to the TDS provisions.
Just to add here, rent it was earlier 2,40,000 per annum it was limit.
Now it is
50,000 per month.
So if you are paying 2 rents in a month, TDS may have to be deducted because if it is crossing.
And even if in case of house construction and all, one contractor more than 50 lakhs,
50 lakhs payment.
even individuals they have to make TDS.
194 50 lakhs is the limit. But again, that percentage has been compensated. It has been reduced.
What do you rate now?
I think 2%. From 5% it is reduced to 2%. 194 M.
Now again, as a part of ease of doing business, TCS on sale of goods is also removed from this year.
Only TDS 194Q has to be.
Earlier it was a confusion whether if he does the TDS, I don't have to do the TCS. So it was very difficult for the businesses to keep a track of who has done the TDS, who has not done the TDS, because they will come to know the total TDS only at the end of the year.
Correct.
So now they have removed this 206(1)H.
Okay. Now, whether there is any challenges in faceless assessments, now everything has become faceless. What are the challenges in faceless?
The main concept is faceless is seamless. That was the idea behind it. And when it was ruled out, it was said that instead of initiating negotiation or encouraging negotiation, let us put a fixed rate, like what if it's concealment, a certain percentage, misreporting, a certain percentage. That was the idea behind making it faceless. Challenges in faceless is what I've experienced is different cities or different localities, they operate, the culture in ours is a very diverse culture. So what might be an acceptable norm in my district will be very different if I go to a different part of the country. For example, to justify that explanation becomes difficult in a faceless assessment.
They want to make it seamless.
Yeah.
Now people always think that it should be at least creamless.
Just to give an example, sir, in the case of ATP cases, cooperative societies, all cooperative societies in this state the bylaws are in Kannada language. So when it went to a faceless, they wanted us to convert it into English language, but which was almost impossible. So it's one of the challenges which I am seeing here.
No, it is possible. No?
Possible, it takes,
Translation is not impossible, it is possible. Now if you put in ChatGPT, everything will come within a minute. Now what are the changes in capital gains? Because with effect from in the 22nd July 2024 budget, Finance Minister has declared many measures.
Yeah, correct.
What are those measures? With effect from 23rd July it is applicable. Can you just brief?
Yeah. First of all, with regard to the property, a resident who is selling the property, he can take the indexation benefit. If the property is purchased prior to 23rd July 2024, and 20% whatever the long-term capital gain he can dispose it of. But that benefit, as Sunil told, this benefit is not available for the NRIs. Resident, if we are not opting for the indexation, we can pay 12%.
Even after property is acquired after 23rd July, this indexation is not there.
Not there. For NRIs also not there, for resident only prior to that. After that it is completely on 12.5% we have to pay. That is one thing. Second thing is especially with regard to equity shares. Prior to this date, 1 lakh was the long-term capital gain exemption was given and 10% we had to pay tax. Prior to this date now, 1,25,000 exemption is been given and we have to pay 12.5% tax. And for all the listed securities, now classification of long-term capital gain is scheduled to be 12 months. For unlisted ones, it is been considered as a 24 months. For let's say listed mutual funds, listed equity shares will be discussed as the same norms that I told now. For unlisted ones, let's say unlisted debentures, then earlier indexation benefit was given. Now indexation benefit is completely removed out of it, and they have to provided if it's a long term, 12.5% has to be paid and should be resolved. So that is the main implication.
Then changes in ULIP.
ULIP now it has been brought under section 112 capital asset. So
up to 2.5 lakhs premium it is considered as
more than that it is considered as a capital asset, and capital gain has to be calculated as per section 112A. If it is more than 12 months, it will come under 12.5% tax bracket, and if it is less than 12 months, it comes under 20% tax bracket. As you said, there is exemption of 1,25,000. If it falls below 1,25,000, then it can be claimed as exempt. That 1,25,000, it should be remembered that it is aggregate for prior to 23rd July and after 23rd July. It should not be assumed that 1 lakh extra for 23rd July.
But I feel it's a welcome move where certain properties, if you have seen, it is not appreciated as much.
Correct.
So when the appreciation
and
is
very
not
difficult to find out 2001 fair market value, very headache.
Yeah. So considering that factor, if the rate of tax is reduced from 20% to 12.5%, so that
this
is
year Dil Khol Ke,
correct.
Dil Khol Ke kiya announcement that we should salute. What are the additional compliances for trusts? Can you just brief?
Trust was one subject where the focus was very limited initially, but now the trusts are gaining prominence. One thing is concept of re-registration. Trusts which have been registered many years back had to be re-registered. That option was
Small
brought in.
trust,
Small
big
trust.
trust.
Yes, everybody had to be re-registered. So they had given a registration for 5 years. Now that is all coming for renewal in this particular year. So that is very much.
That's 6 month time for the department to issue. 15 days before they will raise big queries.
Queries, yeah. So, but we can be prepared first only and submit our application for re-registration. One more thing, very important: if a trust does not file its return within the due date, it cannot claim the benefit of the 12A. I mean that exemption. Application of income cannot be this thing, and 115 TD where the entire market value of the assets held by the trust and the income will all be taxed. That is more or less like giving a death certificate for a trust. So we have to be extra cautious with respect to trust. Also, donations, whatever the trust receives, they like an SFT, another form has to be filed. Where if somebody is giving 31st May, if somebody is giving a donation, only if you get that certificate in Form 10BE, you can eligible to claim that deduction under 80G. So these are.
In addition to that, this year they have made amendment for all the trusts who are receiving less than 5 crores of donation gross income. They can get a registration for 10 years instead of 5 years. So that amendment I have done. So for the trust, existing trust, if they want to accumulate in excess of 15%, they have to file the forms before 2 months before the due date of filing
But
the
schools
trust.
and education institution up to 5
5 crores they have
blanket
exemption. Special exemption
Section
available.
10.
Yeah. So they need not go for 12A registration also. So but these trusts, to a registered trust, if they want to accumulate, the last day to claim file the form 10 is 2 months prior to the due date of filing the returns. If they miss that, they may not be able to accumulate the income. So that amount may be taxed at 30%.
Trust, those who are running the trust and education institutions, be careful. These provisions are very rigorous.
And
then
expensive.
you cannot take any shelter under anything else. Now it is time to close. There are a lot of other things in income tax. We can do part 2 show after some time regarding presumptive tax, tax audits and all. But lot of things are covered now. To sum up, last, what is the takeaway message from your side to the viewers?
Going by the program's caption, pay tax and feel relaxed. Very apt caption, because instead of worrying later, best is to discharge, be honest citizen. Moreover, it should come as a culture, as in we should change. If somebody, it's not that somebody is seeing us, that's why we are doing it. Do it out of your own goodwill and be relaxed. This is my takeaway.
To sum up my part, let's not wait for the due dates to come closer to us. Well within the due date, we'll take into consideration all the information, especially 26 years, AES, TS, from whatever the information we get, and with the post proper professional consultation. We get so many hats, people go by hats and they don't apply their brain, they use ChatGPT and all this. Without considering the output, many people take the steps, but it's very important to take the professional care. And that too, post filing the returns, it is very important to verify the returns. Non-verification the returns as good as not filing the returns. So these steps should be rigorously taken consideration by the SSC. Then they have to file the returns. And as the caption says, pay tax and feel relaxed.
Okay.
My view is the department has moved digital, almost 99%. So none of the manual notices are sent only as a last resort when the SSC has not responded. So the SSCs should be vigilant. Even whenever they get the messages, get the mails, every notice has to be responded. There are huge demands have been raised on the SSCs for non-responding, taking a relaxed mode, or unnoticed cases. So all these can be avoided if they respond to the notice or take a note of these notices. They have to consult their tax consultant in time. Even though notices have come, even if they have given the notices to tax consultant, they have to follow up. It is their tax ultimately, it's their money. So they have to comply with all these notices.
For the last 90 minutes. We have deliberated lot of issues regarding filing of the return and provisions regarding income tax. There is our motto ICA, Ya Yesha Supteshu Jagarti. That means when others are asleep, you should be awake. So it is not only applicable for chartered accountants, it is applicable for taxpayers also. When others are asleep, you should be awake. When others are awake, you should not sleep, you should be alert. So with this message, we would like to conclude this show by saying the best way of doing charity is to pay due taxes, as Warren Buffett said. And in Chanakya Niti also it is said how to collect taxes by the government. The collection of taxes is just like honeybee collects nectars from various flowers, makes a honeycomb and makes it full of honey. The ultimate effect is when there is a collection of nectars, no flower will get damaged. So it will be, pollination will happen, then ultimately more and more crops will grow and more fruits you will bear. With this small note, by collection of nectars from various flowers, government kitty will be also full by collecting taxes from various people without hurting them, and taxpayers are also happy. And now in this budget, the shift has been changed, even in the last budget also, from this saving based economy to spending based economy, to spur boost or to spur more and more expenditure in economy, so that economy will also grow. Let us be the honest tax paying citizens of this country and pay tax, be fine, otherwise you have to pay fine. This is the concluding note. My dear viewers, do you have any confusion regarding taxation, banking and any other financial matters? We have Nammakudla Business Tax, Nammakudla, this is Business Tonic solution for you, and this episode will be re-telecasted on this Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. In Nammakudla 24/7. Sarve janaha sukhino bhavantu, samasta sanmangalani bhavantu. I am CA SS Nayak, wrapping up.
ಅದ್ಭುತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಒಂದೇ ಬರೀ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸನ್ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಆಯಿಲ್. ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್. ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿರಿ.